Dude Perfect is one of the best known names on YouTube. Its main channel has 61.8 million subscribers. That is on YouTube alone. And what started as a trick shots channel has turned into a modern media business that last year scored an investment of $100 million from High Mount Capital. And so I want to bring on Dude Perfect CEO Andrew Yaffe to talk about where he is looking to take the company. Andrew, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
So I'm excited to talk about all things Dude Perfect, but I do want to get your take. We saw this big deal this morning, Netflix agreeing to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. You're in the land of new media. This is a very old media deal in some ways. Did you have any reactions or thoughts to it?
I was following it along, I think, just as a consumer and an interested observer like so many others. I think my main thought is what it signals about the value of premium high quality IP, and how that even as business models change, even as distribution changes, there's real meaningful value in IP that connects with high value audiences. And we're privileged that we think, in a very different way, we play a role in that IP ecosystem. So that's we're excited to see it play out, but mostly interested as an observer.
Right. Well, let's talk about Dude Perfect, the business. I mean, look, people know the YouTube channel. Can you walk us through the different segments and categories of the businesses that you play in?
Absolutely, yeah. So as you said, the guys started a YouTube channel almost accidentally in 2009. They were one of the first big YouTube brands,
Right.
and slowly built a following over the last now 16 years. And at this point, we've got a really truly diversified media business. YouTube is still the core of the business, but every summer we do a live tour. So last summer we were in over 20 cities, had close to 250,000 people come to our live shows, which was just an amazing experience. And we're doing it again next summer. We've got a thriving merchandise and products business, apparel, toys, consumer products, more. And we're launching other media platforms. I mean,
Right.
our social media, where everyone thinks of us as a YouTube brand, but we've got another 50 plus million followers and subscribers across the rest of the social media ecosystem. We recently launched a podcast that is doing quite well. We're launching more channels over the coming weeks as well. So I think you'll see us be a fully scaled media company in short order.
And if you think about where the revenue is coming from, it is, break that down for us. Is most of the revenue still coming from advertisements and partnerships on the channel itself, or how does that break down?
Yeah, I joined Dude Perfect about 18 months ago, and I came from the National Basketball Association. And so the way I think about the business is more like a sports franchise, where we have all the same revenue streams that an NBA team might have.
Right.
So content and our YouTube advertising business is meaningful. Our live tickets is an incredibly meaningful component of our revenue pie, and brand partners. And those brand partners certainly are present in our YouTube, but they're also present in our tour. We've got literally courtside signage at our headquarters.
Yeah.
For our brand partners. I'm here drinking a Body Armor. I don't know if you can see that.
we saw the bottom half, so
yeah.
we saw the logo, at least the part that matters.
They're our official hydration partner. Just a team or a league would have an official, beverage.
And look, there were reports last year when you guys were doing this big funding round that you were on track to cross $50 million in revenue last year. Did you guys end up reaching that goal? And what are you trending towards this year?
Yeah, we don't get into specifics, but the business is doing very well, and we're growing quite rapidly.
Right.
And are looking to be, well above that now and into the future.
So I want to talk about some of the considerations you have to make as CEO. I was at the Dealbook Summit that had Mr. Beast, the New York Times hosted it earlier this week. They were talking about the economics of a single video that Mr. Beast produces, and he's of course known to spend heavily on single episodes, millions and millions of dollars. I wonder, as CEO, you guys put out these videos. Um, do you do sort of a unit economic analysis on, hey, this video alone needs to be profitable? Is every video itself profitable for you, or do you think about it more as sort of a long-term investment? We have this budget, we're going to invest in this many videos over the next 6 months. How do you sort of think about that?
Yeah, I think we're in the fortunate position where we don't need to think of each individual unit as needing to be profitable or to fund itself. It's always nice, but ultimately, we think of the business. And I read a lot about Jimmy's talk in that, in many ways, YouTube as the core of our business really is our brand marketing engine. And so when investing in videos, investing in great content, connecting with our audience, that serves a purpose of, yes, it generates direct revenue, but probably more importantly, it connects us with audience that's interested in our brand, that wants more content from us. And as we scale the other parts of our business, we can then reach that audience with additional products, additional services, additional opportunities like our live tour, where we don't need to make all of our profits from the video itself. It really enables us to scale the rest of our business.
And I want to ask you a little bit about your product development process as CEO, because this show is largely about tech companies, and a lot of the way that tech companies start is you identify a problem that you want to solve, and you build some sort of a product to solve that problem. The creator economy is kind of interesting because with content, in some ways, I mean, it starts out as entertainment, and then you kind of have to figure out what you can extend your brand to and what products would make sense. And so I guess I'm sort of less clear on what that product development process looks like and what research you're doing. And that's certainly top of mind for you. You're looking to expand now into different categories. How do you do that research? What conversations are you having on the ground, and how do you think about new products?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think we do go through a very similar process in a lot of different ways. One is within content, we look at, as we're debating new channels or new opportunities, where do we think there's a need? And we talk to our audience, we observe what else is out there, and we try to figure out where's the gap in the system, that we think our brand and our ethos can bring something to the table. And the same thing is true in terms of consumer products. We don't want to launch a Me Too, a sort of second product that has already been out there. Everything we do, we try to be innovative and differentiated, and really do solve a consumer problem. And we think, as our live tour is an example, people want to find family-friendly, fun experiences, live experiences for their kids. And that's been proven correct. And we think there's a lot more opportunity to do that in a more scalable way. And that's an area that, we look at that as a problem space. And then what are the tools, assets, investments we can make to bring additional products to bear in that problem space. So that's something we're actively going through right now.
And so in that orbit, I think one of the most fascinating decisions that you have to make is, what don't you do? Tell us about some of the ideas that we should expect Dude Perfect to not pursue. I'm talking about the ideas that are in maybe not the recycling bin, but the we're not doing this bin.
There are a lot. When I started 18 months ago, two of the founders came to me with a list of over 100 ideas to consider.
Like, what were some of the craziest ones?
Some of the ones that we're not pursuing. There's great businesses out there that we just don't think they're a fit for us. In the youth haircut space, as an example, is one that we looked at, but we don't think is a fit for our skill, for our capabilities. We really do think, though, there are a lot of ways that our brand, as family-friendly, sports-focused, competitive, passionate, there are a lot of places to play, and it is not an easy exercise to prioritize which things we do and which things we don't do.
Any other fun ideas that you've discarded entirely?
We like to keep those close to the vest.
You never know. You never know. They could be coming back.
The business landscape changes quickly.
So 3 years from now, where do you hope Dude Perfect is as a business?
I think the number one word we say all the time here is scale. And so I think it is, how do we build? I think we'll have built multiple new business lines that are truly scalable.
Right.
Look at what Jimmy and the Beast Enterprise has built in terms of chocolate bars, and now he's going into phones and mortgages,
theme parks. Yeah.
I think we're probably not going to end up with a competitive phone business, but I think there are a number of opportunities that we will look to do where it is truly scalable and it is adjacent, but it's a new business line that we have a first party stake in and are not working as a sponsor or licensee, where we have true ownership economics in it.
Got it. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Andrew. Really appreciate it. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around the youth haircut thing. It would have been Dude Perfect barbershops, like, or salons, I guess, around the place. I mean, I don't know. Could have been fun.
I might be wrong.
We'll never know. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Andrew. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thanks for having me.